Did you
Hey,
know that
good to
Margaret
see
Thatcher was
you.
the longest-serving prime minister in the history of the United Kingdom for 12 years? Well, there's so much more to her story that most people don't know about. So join me as we explore the life of one of the most influential women of all time. No one. She was born into a working-class family in the small village of Grantham in England. Margaret Thatcher was born on October 13, 1925. Her father was a grocer who owned a small chain of food shops, and her mother was a local councillor and one of the first female justices of the peace in Lincolnshire. Although she grew up in a working-class family, she attended a grammar school for girls, where she excelled in her studies and was known for her intelligence and determination. Despite facing financial constraints, Margaret was encouraged by her parents to pursue higher education, which led her to the University of Oxford, where she studied chemistry and later became the leader of the Conservative Party. Number 2. She was a staunch believer in limited government. Throughout her political career, Margaret Thatcher was a strong advocate for limited government intervention in both economic and social issues. She believed that individuals, not the government, should be responsible for their own actions and that free market capitalism was the best way to ensure prosperity for all. This belief system was deeply rooted in her personal experiences growing up during the Great Depression and witnessing the struggles of ordinary people. As Prime Minister, she implemented policies such as the infamous poll tax, which aimed to reduce the size of the state and give more power back to the people. However, these policies were highly controversial and led to significant opposition from various segments of society. Despite the criticism, Thatcher remained steadfast in her belief that individuals, not the government, were ultimately responsible for their own well-being. 3. She was a divisive figure both at home and abroad. During her tenure as Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher's policies and leadership style made her a very divisive figure both at home and abroad. At home, she was criticized for her handling of the economy, which saw a sharp rise in unemployment, and for her social policies, which were seen as being too right-wing. Abroad, she was criticized for her close relationship with U.S. President Ronald Reagan and for her hardline stance on issues such as the conflict in Northern Ireland. Nevertheless, Thatcher's supporters argue that her strength and determination in the face of adversity was what made her such a formidable leader. They also point to her success in ending the Cold War and her contribution to the fall of the Berlin Wall as evidence of her positive impact on the world stage. 4. She was a trailblazer for women in politics. Margaret Thatcher's rise to the top of British politics was nothing short of remarkable. She was the first and only female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, a country with a long and storied history of male dominance. Thatcher's ascent to the highest office in the land was a testament to her intelligence, determination, and ability to connect with voters despite facing countless obstacles and stereotypes along the way. She shattered the glass ceiling and paved the way for future generations of female leaders. 5. She had a complex relationship with the monarchy. Despite being a staunch supporter of the monarchy, Margaret Thatcher's relationship with the royal family was far from smooth. She was known for being particularly close to Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and Princess Diana. However, she was criticized for her handling of the royal family's internal squabbles, particularly those involving the controversial figure of Prince Charles. Thatcher's close relationship with the monarchy was evident during major royal events such as the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer in 1981, which she attended with her husband Dennis. However, her support for the monarchy was not without its limits. She was known for being particularly critical of the royal family's extravagance and was one of the first members of the government to call for an end to the royal family's entitlement to certain privileges. Despite the complexities of her relationship with the monarchy, Margaret Thatcher's place in history as a trailblazer for women in politics and a staunch supporter of the free market economy remains secure. Her legacy continues to be debated and analyzed by historians, but one thing is for sure. She was a remarkable woman who broke down barriers and left an indelible mark on the world stage. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.